For the past kind of few weeks, I've been doing this project. It's called the 30-Day Future Self. It's by a guy called Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool project. And there was a question in a video that was posed today, and I've got it up in my notes here. And it was, what is your favorite experience? Now, when I ask that question to you, what is your favorite experience? I would venture you're starting to think of an experience that you've already had. You're probably looking at some point in your past to like pick up something that was just so amazing for you. But isn't it that interesting how we always lean into the past? We always try to kind of go from memory instead of imagination. And Dr. Benjamin posed this question: what if you started to imagine that your best experiences, those peak experiences, those incredible experiences of your life were still yet to happen? So instead of looking into the past, you actually looked into the future and you start to be kind of forward thinking about that. And that to me was such a kind of interesting concept. And I'll post I'll see if I can find the link to the 30-Day Future Self thing to sign up, see if it's free. I can't remember. But like, can you imagine if you had that view of yourself? And I think, you know, so much of this kind of idea about existential crisis and like comes from our inability to imagine the future. Because we've gone through life, we've lived a life based on expectations, right? So we kind of tick the boxes around getting married, getting a career, getting a house, a mortgage, and cars, and 2.4 kids, or whatever the phrase is, right? So we always know what we're going to do. But what happens when we've done all that? What's next? Retirement? Like, what is that gap? What is that? Like, if you've reached that by, I don't know, late 30s or whatever, what do you do after that? And that's what this kind of question brings up as well, because if you think about like what is your absolute favorite experience, you can only think of the past. Like, there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing in your future to look forward to. Everything that you've had, everything that is possible for you has already happened. So I think it's, and part of this was like, it would ask, you know, what are 3 amazing peak experiences that you want in your future? Now, I recommend fully going through this full program because there's a lot more to it than simply decide, you know, it's a lot more to it than simply a bucket list. But I just find like that is an amazing, creative, curious, imaginary or imagination inducing idea that we can start to think of the amazing experiences that would happen in our future. And what will happen then is that will start to give us hope. So many kind of challenges that we have around mental health is the lack of hope for the future. But what if you could start thinking about like those thoughts around amazing experiences, whether you think you can have them or not, you can still imagine them, you can still think of them, or you could think of them from a movie or anything. And now start to kind of put yourself in that equation. You can start to align your future self with these amazing peak experiences. And I just think that's a really cool thing. I'm trying to remember that Alice in Wonderland quote, the Lewis Carroll thing. It's like, I've imagined 1,000 impossible things before breakfast. I might just quickly look it up. Imagined 1,000 impossible things here we go. Here's something. Alice laughed. There's no use trying. One can't believe impossible things. I dare say you haven't had much practice, said the Queen. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. I just think that's a cool thing. I'm finding benefit from it. Start to think of the impossible things. Start to think of those amazing peak experiences that you can have in your future. Maybe do Dr. Benjamin Hardy's themabob and see what it can do for you. But yep, that's it. That's it for me today. See you tomorrow. Bye. Where's my off button?